Hi, it's me, Dina. I just wanted to do a bit of a different thing for the Crystal Whisper series this month, and I thought I would actually just come and do a quick video and talk to you about aquamarine in general, as opposed to doing a big write-up on it. So aquamarine is the crystal I'm working with. If you don't know, it's a beautiful, beautiful blue crystal. It's used in a lot of jewellery, aquamarine. It is one of the best crystals for your throat chakra. Because of its color, you can also use it on your third eye. But what a lot of people don't know is that aquamarine is really good for your heart chakra as well. It's really good for your heart chakra as it helps align you to your goddess self when you work with it on your heart chakra, which is really beautiful. So aquamarine is usually blue or blue-green. It's a form of beryl, which is beryllium aluminium. I have this written down because I knew I would forget. Beryllium aluminium silicate mineral. It's got a hardness of 7.5 to 8 on the Mohs hardness scale. Its crystal system is hexagonal, and its pigment is actually from iron, which is really interesting. History records its first, so I've got some information written down, obviously. History records its first use in Greece between 300 and 500 BC. Its name is derived from Latin meaning water of the sea. And that's really pretty when you think of it. When you look at this color of this piece of aquamarine here, it's really quite apt, isn't it? Because it is quite like a beautiful ocean color, you know, like when the waves crash and you could just see that beautiful blue on the ocean. It's really, so it is kind of like water of the sea. Beautiful. And when you get those really clear pieces as well, like the gem grade aquamarine, you can really see it then. Aquamarine is mined in Brazil, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Australia, Africa, and United States. It was ancient folklore. I love ancient folklore about crystals. Ancient folklore, aquamarine was believed to be a treasure of the mermaids, and it was used as a talisman to bring good luck, fearlessness, and protection to sailors. Pretty cool. It was also valued as a stone of eternal youth and happiness. Again, when you look at a piece of aquamarine, you cannot help but be kind of happy and thrilled and all that stuff. It's just a really soothing, calming stone. It's really beautiful. So the keywords for aquamarine, I would say would be cooling, soothing, because of its color, clear communication, but it's also simplification of everything, of life. It's, you know, just because it's like cooling and calming as well. It's just trying to find a place in your life where everything's easier. So simplification of life, which is pretty freaking awesome. I really, really love aquamarine. So when I use aquamarine, I tend to use it for the throat chakra when I use aquamarine in healings, and I have found that it is actually possibly the best crystal I have used to date for aligning and balancing the throat chakra. It's really, really great at doing that. And when I also run workshops, and when I run workshops, I usually have a piece of aquamarine with me just to help calm my nerves, to help with my communication, to make sure my communication comes from my heart. My dog is like about to pounce on something, I don't know what it is. To make sure my communication comes from heart, to help give me courage as well. Sorry, itchy nose. Yeah, so it's just really beautiful, and it helps also, like, it gives you courage to speak your inner knowing. That's what it is. It gives you courage to speak your inner knowing, your inner truth, in a really clear, beautiful, simplified way. If you use it on your third eye chakra, it will help enhance your intuitive abilities, your intuition. Another, just by the by, as I'm talking about how I use aquamarine, if you combine aquamarine and emerald, so if you have a piece of aquamarine, you place it on your throat chakra, and a piece of emerald, and you place it on your heart chakra, you can activate the power of truth from your heart, from within. That's another way to help activate that power of truth. So that's really quite a beautiful, beautiful way to do it, and to use another stone with aquamarine as well, which, yeah, I know sometimes you like to use other stones with your crystals. I know I do. It's just a noise in the backyard. So it is also, obviously, in case you haven't picked up as yet, it is a water stone, water element stone. And because it's water element, it also helps clear the emotional body. So water is all about emotions, so it helps clear the emotional bodies so that you can communicate better. So the stone is really all about communication when you think of it. So it helps clear the emotional body so you can communicate your truth and not communicate your emotions so much, not communicate from a place of extreme emotions, but communicate from a place of love, from a place of your truth. You still have the emotion there, but you're able to bypass the initial emotional outburst and go straight to your truth, which is really beautiful, and it's actually what you want. It is also used to help release old patterns, hence the simplification and old attachments. That's a really beautiful stone. Okay, so I'm going to read a bit. So that's what I use aquamarine for. So I'm going to read a bit from the books that I always use. So first I'm going to read from the Book of Stones by Robert Simmons and Naisha Asian. I'm really unsure how to pronounce her name. Gosh, I'm so sorry. And Naisha says here, for spiritual, aquamarine activates the throat chakra, which we spoke about already. It facilitates communications of one truth, soothes excessively fiery energies, and promotes understanding between divergent viewpoints. It helps clear stagnant energy and assists one in releasing old patterns. Everything we've discussed. Emotionally, aquamarine helps one release all emotional baggage and ego roles. It calms anger and hysteria. Calming, soothing stone. Assists in releasing vengeful thoughts and helps one see where one is perpetuating negative emotional patterns in relationships. It is also useful in moving through grief. Really interesting that I've been working with this crystal, and I actually have been last month, when I was working with it, I did a lot of work on releasing grief for my mother's passing, and grief for my mum and dad passed really close together, and just grief at feeling so alone in the world sometimes. You know, when you lose your parents, you do feel alone, even though you're not. And I know I'm not, and I've got a beautiful family, and I've got a great husband, but every now and again I do feel alone in the world. And when I was working with Aquamarine, a lot of feelings of my mum in particular, because I did allow myself to grieve for my dad, but because my parents passed so soon together, so quickly one after the other, I actually didn't allow myself to grieve for my mum. So it was really beautiful. It was really beautiful, and Aquamarine helped me get through that, so that was really cool. Physically, aquamarine is a cooling stone. It's really good to use on rashes. So if you have a rash, you can just put it on your rash. If you have a sore throat, put it on your thing. Yep, it says counter infection, especially useful for laryngitis, strep throat, or sore throat. Supports the healing of inflammatory diseases of all types. Soothing for eczema, hives, rosacea, psoriasis. Quiets the nervous system. That's really beautiful. Quiets the nervous system. So when I do healing sessions, in particular distance healing sessions, depending on what we're working with, I would actually send to the person blue light, and the blue energy I would send is the blue, like this particular color blue of the aquamarine, to help soothe their nervous system and help calm them down and just help bring them back to a place where they can function again, which is really beautiful. The affirmation that Naisha has for Aquamarine is, I embody the yielding, cooling power of water, and I express my truth with calm clarity. That's beautiful. Now Justin, I also use Justin Mokay Assa's, I think it's Mokay Assa's liquid crystal book when I'm gathering up some information as well. Oh, excuse me. And his affirmation for Aquamarine is, in simplification, I manifest perfection. I really love that. I love both of them, and they're both really good to use at different times, I think, when you're working with Aquamarine. I'm just gonna see if there's anything different in his books now before I go on. Anything a bit different? Relevant past life information. It says here, Aquamarine is a sacred stone to all the gods and goddesses of the ocean, opening communication with them. It is especially sacred to Nimue and Artemis, and has direct links to the Hindu god Ganesha, Ascended Master Saint Germain, and Archangel Raziel. That's really beautiful. Aquamarine is a master crystal in the balancing of water in the human body, useful in fluid retention and a powerful remedy of the thymus gland. So that's really cool as well. Yep, and that's thymus. That's pretty much everything he says. It's good for the throat chakra, third eye, visual meditation, and contacting the higher self. So if you place it on the third eye chakra, meditation, and you meditate, you can contact your higher self through that. That's really good. And then he gives a bit of exercises that you could do, which we don't really need right now. He says the colorways, blue, green, clay. So it's pretty much 33% blue, 33% green, 33% clay colorway, and 1% black colorway. The animal for the Aquamarine is the seahorse, and the essential oil, if you love essential oils, is eucalyptus. So one of the things I like to do with Aquamarine, and what I have been doing with Aquamarine, is I have just been placing it. When I first started doing it was using it on my throat. And when you use it on your throat chakra, so in meditation, so when you use it on your throat chakra, what it does is it helps clear your throat chakra, but it also connects you to any past life, any emotional blockages you have, and it helps clear that as well. And then it helps clear it and helps bring it forth as well. And then what I did was I used Aquamarine on my heart, not to align to my goddess self, but to help really clear all those past life things that were coming up, all the grief that was coming up, because there was a lot of emotional grief, obviously. So to help clear all that grief that was coming up, it was and verbalize the grief as well. It was really interesting because I did actually verbalize it. I spoke to my mom and I explained what was happening, and I was angry, and because I was angry and I was upset, and I called in my dad as well, and it was a really beautiful healing time. And yes, if you can get a piece of Aquamarine to work with, I would highly suggest it. It is an absolutely beautiful stone, beautiful blue colors. It's it does very much remind me of the ocean. Keywords again: simplification, communication, calming, throat chakra, high chakra, third eye chakra. Great for calming any sort of rashes or psoriasis or anything like that. It's a soothing stone. It's beautiful. It's full of love and compassion. You can combine it with other stones for great things. You can combine it with morganite to assist in the expression of love and compassion. You can combine it with emerald, as I said before, to strengthen the link between the throat and the heart chakra, to activate the communication, the truth, the power of the truth, and helping you to succeed. You can use it with other like communication stones, so other blue stones, to enhance the communication, which will be really, really cool. So other communication stones will be other blue stones. Yeah, it's a water element, third heart, third eye. Yeah, just making sure I've said everything. Yeah, it's a really, really beautiful stone to use. Really calming, really soothing, really gentle. I know it does a lot, but it is actually a really, really gentle stone. And all the work it does is, even though it does work on your emotional body and everything else, everything comes through your speech at the end of the day. It's all about communication at the end of the day. Really beautiful stone. Highly recommend it. Let me know if you like this little kind of video thing as opposed to the write-up, or if you want both. Okay, lots of love to you, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Bye.